Hey y'all, my name is Luke. I make bags from high performance materials that would otherwise be discarded, but today I'm back with another little boat project update. I've been working on it during the evenings, during the week, and mostly on the weekends when I'm not in the shop too. Still working on getting this cockpit all figured out. It's a huge part of the project and super time consuming, along with the learning curve here of working with all this boat stuff and trying to get things smoothed out, doing a lot of fairing. But as you can see here in this footage, I modified the cockpit locker, the access to the technical compartment here, which is going to have a bunch of systems and stuff in there to make the sidewalls a little higher. So in case we do get waves coming over the stern, the hatch is not as far down as it used to be. So basically just making these sidewalls higher and making it so that the lid to this access hatch will just be on the top. So on the back side of this, where the piano hinge is going to be, I made sure to put a really thick piece of just solid glass back there so that the screws holding on the piano hinge will be nice and solid. I didn't have a ton of maple that was ready to go, but I did have this walnut slab from Gobi from a while back that I didn't know what I was going to do with. So I just decided to go ahead and chop it up into a bunch of pieces to make the mold for the technical compartment access gutters. So here you can see I'm getting the mold ready and putting it in place actually on the opening here to make sure that I get all the dimensions and the radiuses right. And then I can go ahead and get started on making the mold, preparing to lay it up with some fiberglass and some carbon fiber. Another part of getting the cockpit ready is opening up these access hatches to what will be the propane locker back here, and then a smaller locker back here, which will give us access to the back part of the hydraulic backstay adjustment. But once I got the gutters made, I was able to just glue them into place. And once that glue was totally cured, I got some strips of carbon fiber of, varying widths, starting with skinny, going wider to tab it in to make sure that it's actually a solid part of the boat now. And then it was back to fairing, which I've been doing a lot of, as well as glassing in the other two hatches in the back here once the molds were made for those properly, which, as you might expect, took me a couple times to really get these perfect, and they wouldn't have been as perfect without the help of my good buddy Chris, who's been just super helpful in keeping this project going along, even though it might not look like it at sometimes. Uh, just there's a lot of work to do, especially on the stern and the cockpit area. So went ahead and got the back part glassed up with a bunch of carbon, got these parts made off of these much nicer molds thanks to Chris's expertise and help in showing me how to do it properly. And I had been planning on doing a big swim platform across the entire stern of the boat here, across the transom. Kind of reconsidering that again, thanks to Chris's helpful input. And probably is a better idea to focus on just getting everything faired out in the cockpit, getting the rudder installation going, which is on order. So we are waiting on that, and moving on from the cockpit forwards and getting all the things that need to be done. And then if we want to come back and add a swim platform later on, we can do that. But I think it's probably a good idea to try to get this cockpit finished up as well as I can, including the rudder and rudder posts and pedestal and all that finished up. Based on how long it's taken me to do all this fairing stuff, it's pretty time consuming. But that's about it for this little update. We did get a little bit of snow, so thought I'd include a couple shots of that. But thanks so much for watching, and see y'all next time.